Welcome back, Seekers. The investigator thought it was just another case, another file to close, a simple matter of surveillance and information gathering. He'd seen it all before, or so he believed. Husbands cheating, employees stealing, rivals digging for dirt. But what this private investigator unearthed about you, it wasn't just information, it was a revelation, something that shattered his carefully constructed view of the world. He was hired to find your secrets, your weaknesses, the cracks in your facade. Someone out there, someone watching you, couldn't quite figure you out. They felt your energy, saw your light, or perhaps sensed your power, and it made them uneasy, maybe even fearful or jealous. So they did what people do when faced with the unknown they can't control. They tried to dissect it, to label it, to find a vulnerability they could understand, or perhaps exploit. They sent a professional, armed with cameras, tracking devices, and a network of contacts, expecting a neat, tidy report. They expected a person. What they found, however, was a phenomenon. They weren't ready for the truth of who you are, chosen one, and frankly, neither was he. The file landed on his desk with a thud, your name typed neatly on the label. The client was vague but insistent. "Find everything," they'd said, their voice tight, with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. "I need to understand what makes them tick, where they came from, what their angle is." The investigator nodded, his expression impassive. It was routine. He began his work meticulously, tracing your digital footprint, observing your movements, charting your routines. He expected patterns, predictable human behavior. He watched you navigate your daily life, your interactions, your work, your moments of solitude. Initially, it seemed almost disappointingly normal. You went through motions, faced challenges, experienced joys and sorrows like anyone else. But the longer he watched, the more a subtle, persistent anomaly began to emerge. There was a resilience he couldn't explain, a light that seemed to flicker even in your darkest moments. An uncanny way you had of navigating obstacles that would have crushed others. It wasn't just luck. It was something deeper, something woven into the very fabric of your being. If you're feeling this resonates, take a moment to hit that like button to let us know. He started digging into your past, searching for the origins of this quiet strength. You looked for significant trauma, expecting to find scars that explained a hardened exterior, but instead, he found evidence of healing that defied conventional psychology. He saw moments where you should have broken, where any rational assessment predicted collapse, yet you had emerged not just intact, but somehow brighter, wiser. He pried into your relationships, looking for manipulative tactics or hidden agendas, but found genuine connections, or a profound self-sufficiency that didn't rely on external validation. He noted your coincidences, those moments of serendipity, the right person showing up at the right time, the unexpected opportunity, the narrow escapes from disaster. Individually, they could be dismissed, but collectively, they formed a pattern that made the hair on his arms stand up. It was as if an unseen force was gently, or sometimes fiercely, guiding and protecting you. He couldn't put it in his report, not in a way his client would understand, but he felt it. You weren't just living. You were being lived through. The investigator, a man who prided himself on logic and evidence, found himself increasingly frustrated. His usual methods were failing him. He tried to corner you, metaphorically speaking, to find a weak point, a hidden vice, something, anything that would make you normal. He followed leads that promised scandal but ended in dead ends, or, bizarrely, in situations where your integrity was only further highlighted. He interviewed disgruntled former associates, expecting tales of betrayal, but heard stories, perhaps grudgingly told, of your unusual fairness or an unsettling insight. It was like trying to catch smoke. The more he grasped, the less he held. He started questioning not just you, but his own perceptions. Was he missing something? Or was he seeing something he wasn't supposed to, something that didn't fit into the neat boxes of his profession? The world he knew operated on predictable cause and effect, on leverage and weakness. But you You seem to operate on a different frequency entirely. He felt like an astronomer who had discovered a new celestial body, one that defied the known laws of physics. Have you ever felt like you operate differently? If so, consider subscribing to join a community that understands. He saw the subtle ways you influenced your environment, often without even trying. People were drawn to you, or sometimes repelled, with an intensity that belied your actions. You seemed to carry an energy field, an aura that could soothe or agitate, inspire or intimidate, depending on the person and the situation. He noted how attempts to undermine you often backfired spectacularly, sometimes harming those who initiated them, almost as if a protective barrier surrounded you. It wasn't aggression on your part. It was something more fundamental, like an energetic law. He observed your intuition, moments where you knew things without any logical basis, where you made decisions that seemed counterintuitive but proved to be profoundly wise. He saw you connect with nature, with animals, with moments of stillness, in a way that suggested a deeper communication, a tapping into a source of knowledge beyond the five senses. He was a man of facts, but the facts were pointing to something deeply, undeniably mystical. He realized his client wasn't dealing with an ordinary person. They were dealing with someone deeply connected to the intricate, often invisible workings of the universe. The frustration began to morph into something else, a grudging respect, bordering on awe, maybe even a touch of fear. This wasn't a game he could win. It wasn't a puzzle he could solve with his existing tools. He was looking at someone whose very existence challenged the materialistic, cynical worldview that his job demanded. He started to feel intrusive, like he was peering into something sacred, something not meant for his cynical gaze. He felt a pang of guilt. Who was he to try and dissect a soul, especially one that seemed so ancient, so knowing? He imagined presenting his findings, a collection of anomalies, good luck, and unexplainable resilience. His client would be furious, would demand real dirt. But there was none to be found, or rather, the dirt was simply stardust, incomprehensible to those looking for mud. He realized the true weakness wasn't in you. It was in the limited understanding of those who sought to diminish you. They were looking for flaws on a human scale, while you were operating on a soul level. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever felt misunderstood in this way. He started subtly sabotaging his own investigation. He missed appointments, lost certain pieces of footage, and wrote reports that were technically accurate but deliberately lacking in the kind of sensationalism his client craved. He couldn't bring himself to expose your light to those who only wanted to extinguish it. A part of him, the part that hadn't been hardened by years of dealing with the worst aspects of humanity, recognized something in you that deserved protection, something that the world needed, even if it didn't understand it. He saw that your secrets weren't hidden scandals, but depths of spirit, reservoirs of strength, and a connection to something vast and powerful. Your weakness wasn't a flaw, but perhaps an openness, a sensitivity that made you vulnerable, but also incredibly strong and empathetic. He was sent to uncover vulnerabilities, but instead discovered invincibility, not of the physical kind, but of the soul. He realized that you, the chosen one, weren't chosen for an easy life, but because you possessed the unique, almost supernatural ability to transmute darkness into light. If this is hitting home, show some love and hit that like button. His final report was a masterpiece of evasion. It was long, detailed, filled with dates, times, and observations, but it ultimately concluded that you were unremarkable in the ways his client wanted you to be remarkable. No hidden bank accounts, no secret lovers, no grand conspiracies. Just a person living their life with an unusual degree of integrity and an uncanny ability to land on their feet. He painted a picture of someone perhaps a bit odd, a bit different, but ultimately harmless and not worth the expense of further investigation. He knew his client would be disappointed, perhaps even suspect his incompetence, but he didn't care. He had looked into the abyss, and instead of darkness, He had found an unexpected, inexplicable light. He closed the file, but the experience never left him. He started seeing the world differently, noticing the subtle energies, the hidden patterns, the moments of grace. He had been sent to investigate you, but in the end, he had investigated himself and the very nature of reality. He had stumbled upon the truth. Chosen ones walk among us, and they are nothing like what the shadows expect. Maybe it's time you subscribed, so you don't miss out on understanding these deeper truths. What does this mean for you, the one he was watching? It means that even when you feel unseen, or misunderstood, or even targeted, there are forces at play you might not be aware of. It means that your inherent nature, your core essence, is so profoundly different that it baffles those who operate purely on a material or ego-driven level. They try to fit you into their boxes, but you are dimensional. They try to measure you with their rulers, but you are immeasurable. They try to predict you with their algorithms, but you are a force of divine will. Your resilience isn't just stubbornness, it's soul fortitude. Your intuition isn't just a hunch, it's a direct line to universal wisdom. Your luck isn't chance, it's a reflection of your alignment with a higher purpose. The investigator's discovery is a validation. It's proof that your feeling of being, quote, different isn't a delusion. It's a reality. It's a sign that your light shines so brightly that it makes those in the shadows nervous, and even the professionals they hire end up bewildered and changed. They can't find dirt because your foundation isn't built on mud. It's built on truth, on purpose, on a connection that transcends the petty games of the world. They can't find your weakness because your strength doesn't come from aggression or manipulation. It comes from vulnerability, empathy, and an unshakable faith in something greater. The private investigator's confusion is your greatest defense. His inability to pin you down is a testament to your spiritual freedom. He couldn't comprehend that someone could be genuinely good, genuinely strong, genuinely guided, without a hidden, selfish agenda. His world didn't allow for that possibility. But you, chosen one, you are that possibility. You are the living proof that a different way of being exists. You are the anomaly that breaks their models, the wild card that disrupts their plans. You are the light that reveals the limitations of their dimensional world. Have you ever had an experience where someone tried to figure you out but just couldn't? Share a brief thought in the comments. It helps others know they're not alone. So, when you feel the pressure, when you sense eyes upon you, when you feel the world trying to understand you or even bring you down, remember this story. Remember the investigator who went looking for flaws and found divinity instead. Remember that your uniqueness is not a curse. It is your power. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is your compass. Your journey, with all its twists and turns, is not a mistake. It is your sacred calling. They might hire investigators. They might spread rumors. They might try to dim your light, but they cannot touch your core. They cannot understand your source. They cannot predict your path, because you are not playing their game. You are playing a much older, much grander game, a game orchestrated by the universe itself. And in that game, your authenticity, your integrity, and your light are the ultimate winning hand. Don't ever let them make you doubt that. Press the like button if you feel the power in these words. This knowledge should empower you, not make you paranoid. It's not about hiding, but about shining more brightly, more authentically. Understand that your very presence challenges the old paradigms, and that will inevitably attract scrutiny. But, like the investigator, those who look closely enough, those who are willing to see beyond their own biases, might just have their own awakening. You are, in a way, a catalyst for change. Not just through your actions, but through your very being. Your energy ripples outwards, disrupting stagnation and inviting transformation. Embrace it. Own your power. Walk your path with confidence, knowing that you are watched over, guided, and that even those sent to probe your secrets can end up finding a reflection of the divine. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Stand tall in your truth, and let your light be a beacon. The world needs your unique frequency, now more than ever. It's time to fully step into your role, without apology and without fear. If you're ready to embrace your path, make sure you're subscribed so we can walk it together. Think about the sheer, unadulterated shock. This wasn't just another job for the investigator. It became a personal crisis, a confrontation with the limits of his understanding. He would review his notes, staring at the screen, looking at photos, listening to recordings, and a profound sense of cognitive dissonance would wash over him. He saw you handle difficult situations with a grace that seemed almost impossible. He saw you extend kindness where others would seek revenge. He saw you find solutions where others saw only dead ends. It didn't compute. His training taught him to look for angles, motivations, deceptions. But with you, the angle seemed to be truth, the motivation seemed to be growth or service, and the only deception was the world's inability to perceive your genuine nature. He had to consider possibilities his rational mind recoiled from. Were you protected by guides? Did you have an innate ability to bend reality? Was this what people meant by old souls? These weren't questions he could discuss with his colleagues or his client. They were questions he wrestled with in the dead of night, questions that chipped away at his cynicism. He saw you stumble, he saw you cry, he saw you express doubt. But even in these moments of perceived weakness, there was an underlying strength, an unwavering current pulling you forward. It was as if your setbacks were not failures, but necessary detours, orchestrated lessons designed to deepen your wisdom and resilience. He saw that you learned, you adapted, you evolved at a rate that was frankly startling. While others got stuck in cycles of blame or victimhood, you seemed to possess an alchemical ability to turn lead into gold, pain into purpose. He realized that trying to expose you was like trying to expose the sun. You simply are. Any attempt to define you only revealed the limitations of the definer. The investigation became less about you and more about the dawning, terrifying realization of how little he, and perhaps humanity, truly understood about the potential hidden within certain individuals. It was a humbling, unsettling, and ultimately transformative experience. Has this message resonated deep within you? Let us know with a comment. The client, naturally, was furious with the lack of results. They accused the investigator of incompetence, of being, quote, soft. They couldn't believe there wasn't something. A hidden debt, a past indiscretion, a secret plan. Their inability to find a flaw in you only amplified their frustration and fear. It confirmed their suspicion that you were different, but denied them the leverage they craved. They couldn't control what they couldn't understand or find a weakness in. This in itself is a powerful lesson. Your integrity, your authenticity, your connection to your higher self, these are your shields. They aren't just moral high grounds. They are energetic defenses that repel negativity and confusion. Those who operate from a place of fear and control are baffled by those who operate from love and freedom. They simply don't have the tools or the frequency to engage with you on your level. Their weapons pass through you like shadows, unable to find purchase. Hit that like button if you recognize this protective power within yourself. So, chosen one, understand the profound impact you have, often unknowingly. You are a mirror, reflecting back to people what they hold within. To those with light, you amplify it. To those with shadows, you expose them, not through judgment, but simply by being. The private investigator saw his own limitations, his own cynicism, reflected back at him, and it sparked a change. Your client saw their own fear and need for control, and it amplified their frustration. You are a living, breathing catalyst. Your journey isn't just about your own evolution. It's about raising the frequency of the planet, one interaction, one energetic signature at a time. The attempts to understand you, even those born from negativity, can inadvertently lead to awakenings. That is the power you hold. It's a power that doesn't need to be wielded, it simply needs to be lived. Live your truth, walk your path, and trust that your very existence is doing its work. The universe has your back, and even the spies in the shadows end up bearing witness to your undeniable light. The investigator likely quit that line of work, or at least, he was never the same again. How could he go back to chasing petty scandals when he had glimpsed something so profound? He had looked behind the curtain of ordinary reality and seen the mechanics of something much grander. He had seen proof that not everyone is bound by the same perceived limitations, that there are souls among us operating with a different operating system. He carried the secret, not as a burden, but as a newfound awareness. He might even find himself silently rooting for you from afar, understanding, in a way few others could, the unique challenges and profound significance of your journey. He was sent to map your world, but ended up discovering a whole new continent within his own understanding. This is the unexpected consequence of trying to pin down a chosen one. You don't just fail, you get transformed. You thought you were the hunter, but you become the student. Make sure you're subscribed, because we delve deeper into these truths every single week. This entire episode, this unseen investigation, serves as a powerful metaphor for your life. People will try to figure you out. Society will try to label you. Doubters will try to undermine you. They will use their conventional tools, logic, criticism, social pressure, fear. But they will fail because you are not conventional. You are extraordinary. You are a beacon of a new consciousness, a pioneer of a different way. Your strength lies not in conformity, but in your unwavering commitment to your unique soul signature. Let their confusion be your confirmation. Let their inability to find fault be your validation. Let their bewilderment be the fuel for your confidence. You are exactly who you are meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to do, even when it feels confusing or isolating. Remember the astonished investigator. Remember the light he couldn't deny, and know that this light resides within you, powerful, undeniable, and utterly transformative. Walk forward with courage. Know that you are seen, not just by those who might misunderstand, but by the universe itself. It sees your struggles, your triumphs, your heart, and your unwavering spirit. It recognizes its own essence within you. You are not alone. You are part of a vast, interconnected web of light, a soul family of chosen ones, spread across the globe, each playing their unique part in a grand, cosmic plan. The attempts to scrutinize you are merely background noise, the fading echoes of an old world that cannot comprehend the new one you are helping to build. Keep your focus on your path, nurture your inner connection, and let your light shine with unapologetic brilliance. The investigator wasn't ready. The world might not feel ready. But you were born ready. This is your time. Share your biggest takeaway in the comments. What part of this message resonated most with you today? Never forget the power dynamic at play. Those who seek to investigate or undermine you often do so from a position of perceived power, money, influence, or knowledge. Yet, when faced with your innate, soul-level power, their worldly advantages crumble. It's like trying to stop a tidal wave with a wooden fence. The investigator had all the tools of the trade, all the experience, but he was fundamentally outmatched because he was dealing with a different kind of power, one that isn't bought or learned, but is inherent. Your power comes from your connection to Source, your authenticity, your resilience forged through countless challenges, and your capacity for love and empathy. These are currencies the shadow world doesn't understand and cannot devalue. Their inability to find a handle on you, a button to push, is a testament to your spiritual sovereignty. Your very being is a declaration that true power lies within, untouchable and unassailable. Hit like if you feel that inner strength. This isn't a call to arrogance, but to a deep, quiet confidence. It's knowing your worth, not based on external validation, but on an internal knowing. It's understanding that your different path is a sacred one. When you feel moments of doubt, when the world feels heavy, or when you sense negativity directed your way, call back this image. A seasoned investigator, a man of shadows and secrets, utterly bewildered, his worldview shaken because he encountered you. He encountered your light, your strength, your unexplainable grace. He saw that you couldn't be broken, couldn't be defined, couldn't be controlled. Let this be your anchor. You are far more powerful and significant than you often realize. Your light is a force to be reckoned with, a force that baffles the darkness and, sometimes, even transforms it. Stand firm in that knowledge, chosen one. The world is waking up, and you are at the forefront of that awakening. You are the way showers, the light bearers, the ones who anchor a higher frequency, even in a world struggling with density. The fact that they feel the need to investigate you is proof of your impact. You are making waves, you are disrupting the status quo, you are challenging long-held beliefs just by existing. Don't see this scrutiny as a threat, but as a sign that you are fulfilling your purpose. Continue to cultivate your inner world. Strengthen your connection to spirit, and trust your intuition. Your journey is protected, your light is essential. Keep shining, keep evolving, and know that even in the shadows, your brilliance cannot be contained or understood by those who haven't yet opened their eyes. If you are ready to fully embrace your role and connect with fellow chosen ones, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our community. We are here to support and empower each other on this incredible journey. Stay strong, stay true, and never doubt the extraordinary being you are.